Hello everyone and welcome to another Jurassic World Alive video. Today we are going to be ranking every epic creature in Jurassic World Alive. Y'all seem to like the previous tier list making videos, so we are here in our third one. I hope you'll enjoy. The first creature is Proceratomimus, which is not a bad creature, with high speed, damage and low attack, and a decent moveset. I'm going to put Proceratomimus in A tier. And the next creature is going to be the Diplodocus. Diplodocus is one of the best epic creatures in the game, with a lot of health, high damage and low speed, and also a really good moveset. This creature is, in my opinion, the top 3 epic is among the top 3 epic creatures. We always face a lot and play a lot of Diplodocus in tournaments as well. Just like that, it's S tier. And Carbonemis is right here. Although it has a high armor, its other stats aren't really good. Moveset is fine, but this isn't one of the best epics. It's fine, it's a B tier, especially in advantage tournaments, it's used quite a lot. Here's Megalogaia. I used to see this one sometimes in skill tournaments, but when they had the all epic hybrids tournaments, but it's not really great. It's B tier as well. The next creature is Pachycephalosaurus. I don't really know. This doesn't have too much HP, mediocre damage, and not the best speed, but quite decent. And then okay moveset, which could be better if it had like resilient strike and short defense. This creature is B tier as well, in my opinion. It doesn't do really any extra, but it can be some good. And the next one is Rajasaurus, with quite good health, okay damage with the counter attack, and not really good moveset. It has at least a 30% critical chance, which really does help it. I almost wanna put it in C tier still, but I don't know. Let's just stick to B tier. Griposuchus has a good health and okay damage and mediocre speed. Nothing much to say about this one, it's a mediocre creature. Here is Amargocephalus. I even used this one in PvP a long time ago, but it did really well against Cunnings because it had a really high armor and it was just, I swapped it in when I faced like a really high level Velociraptor and it tanked 2 hits and then slowed down the Velociraptor and then killed it. It did kind of well, but among epics, I don't think it's really good. Ankylosaurus is pretty similar, but it's even worse. Although it has more health, its moveset is terrible. So it's low C tier, or shall I make it a joke creature? Yeah, it's a joke. It does really nothing. Yeah, even if it wastes like a Cunning, because it doesn't do too much damage. It can be just swapped out, and you are completely fine. You take 1000 damage, but you are good. Monolophosaurus is a Cunning with low health, quite good damage and speed. Okay moveset. It's a mediocre creature as well. The next one is Colossuchus. This one is really bad. It has really low attack compared to a not great health and quite good speed, but the moveset is also very bad. So I would say Colossuchus is a joke as well. And the next one is going to be Brontollasmus, another epic hybrid with a good health, although it got a nerf, and armor, and quite high damage and not great speed, but amazing abilities, and with the speed decrease immunity. This creature is pretty good. It's used quite a lot in skill tournaments. I really like this creature's design as well. Alanqua is resilient, but not one of the greatest. It has medium health, but no armor. It's fine, it can be used, but it doesn't do too much damage. And the next creature is Baryonyx, with quite okay health, high damage and speed. The moveset isn't really good, but it has two good resistances. This creature is used in tournaments as well. Not that much, but it's a quite good creature. I kind of wanna put it in A-tier. Its speed and high damage is a quite good synergy. Now Antilochops is really amazing. I think this is one of the best epics in the game. It has high health, good armor, amazing resistances, high speed, quite low damage, but also great moveset. This is straight up S tier. I love this creature. It's really good. And Rexy is coming up next. Yes, Rexy has a lot of damage and quite good speed, but its moveset is nothing special. With the low speed, this creature isn't really good. Fine, it can be used in some situations, but like Diplodocus, a hardcore resilient, is able to kill Rexy, and that's kind of irreal. And that's what makes both Rexy and Allosaurus Gen 2 weak. Like Titanoboa and Diplodocus both kill these two, although they are both resilient. Concavenator, I use a lot in advantage tournaments, but other than that, it's nothing special. It has the resilient strike, which makes it good against a few Cunnings as well, and quite good fierce moves. It's mediocre because of the lower health it has and speed. Erlikosaurus is also used quite a lot in advantage tournaments, but it's nowhere in skill tournaments for a reason, because it's not good. It's mediocre. I would say even Erlikosaurus Gen 2 is better than this because it has a better move, the debilitating distraction. Spinosaurus Gen 2 is a good wounding creature with no escape, which is a good synergy. So this can be in kind of any team, but it needs some support with like swapping stunning creatures like Nasutoceratops or Eneosuchus or Stegoceratops. And here is Edmontoguanodon. This is a joke creature, of course. This is a healer, so nothing to say about this. Healers are always joke creatures in this game. You could see this in the previous tier list videos, like Edmontosaurus isn't good, Tenontosaurus isn't good. Those are the healers. Here is Edaphosaurus, which is a great creature used a lot in skill tournaments. Sometimes I see it in advantage tournaments as well. It has great health, low damage, but a good moveset and a lot of resistances. Nothing much to say about it. Eucladoceros is kind of weird because it has high speed but kind of low health and damage, and a weird moveset as well, with some resistances that doesn't that does not really help it, besides speed decrease resistance, but that's also not the greatest because it's just 75%, so it's kind of bad. Sarcorexis though is not bad. This is probably the best epic in the game, both in boosted and unboosted meta. But it's going to get a nerf in the next update, a quite significant nerf, which won't kill the creature hopefully, but it's unfortunately possible. But I still won't put it in A because I'm making this tier list based on the current meta of epic creatures. It's definitely one of the best creatures. So it's S tier. Nolopatosaurus is bad. Compared to other longnecks, it has a low health, low damage, some alright resistances that aren't really good still, and quite bad moveset. This is almost a joke, but it can be useful against some Cunnings. Ankylodecorus, or Ankylodecorus, is a good creature with high armor and health, fine damage and fine speed, good resistances, and a quite impressive moveset. It can do quite a lot of damage with superior vulnerability and superiority rampage. It's an A tier creature. And the next one is Andrewtodon. I kind of overrated this creature before, but this one isn't that great. Yes, it has the exposing counter, which paired with rending takedown does 90% damage. to the opponent, but that's just not enough. If it does 100%, then it's great, but it doesn't, so I don't think that's that great. I almost want to put it in A because I love the creature, all the design, the idea, but it's not good, that's the fact. And moving on to the next one, it's Smilodon. A typical Cunning with low health, high damage and speed. Some Cunning abilities, Resistance and Evasive Strike and Prowl. Prowl doesn't really help this one, but other than that, it's a fine creature inside B tier. Demodactylus though is really bad. It's a fierce that has a lot of speed and also some resilient moves. But low damage and health. And low health just does not fit for a creature that doesn't have distraction moves or dodge moves. That's why this creature is almost a joke. But no, it's a little bit better than that. Or is it? Screw it. Okay, let's say it's the worst possible. It's a joke creature. Let's agree on that. This is Titanoboa, with some good resistances, quite bad stats though, also good moveset and abilities. This one is used quite a lot in tournaments, so that's why I'm putting it up in A tier. The next creature is Spinotahraptor. This is a terrible creature, although it has high damage and quite good speed. Its health is bad and the moveset is bad. It has just a strike. There are not too many creatures which has a strike, and kind of all of them are bad. Spinotahraptor is like a joke, just because how low its health is. Stygimoloch. It's a mediocre creature, as most of them, with high health and high damage and speed, but low health. It has shield, that's fine, and stun. Ouranosaurus though is a healer, so it's straight up going to joke tier. Moving on to the next one. It's going to be Rinchenia. If I can find Rinchenia. There it is. Low health, high damage and speed, typical Cunning, with typical Cunning resistances and typical Cunning abilities. But it has only strike for the first turn, that's why this isn't really good. Even like Ornithomimouse is better than this, because it has a little bit more health, which makes it better against, for example, Dracoraxes and those stuff. That's why Rinchenia is kind of bad. Secodontosaurus is the next creature, which isn't bad based on stats and resistances, but its moveset is not enough, I think. And it is hardly outclassed by Edaphosaurus, which does the same, but it has much more health. And one more speed. Scutosaurus is coming up right now. Revenge Resilient with some good resistances and quite good stats, but unfortunately the abilities aren't good. But still, without good abilities, this creature is still kind of decent and it's used quite a lot in tournaments. It's an A-tier. Let's see what's coming up next. There it is, the woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth has quite good health, but low damage, and its terrible moveset. I hate to see this, because it used to be a good creature before it got nerfed, but now it's a high C, I would say. And look at the next one, it's Spinotahraptor, another healer, but this has some other things at least. Still, it's not a good creature, it's not worth using, it's still a joke, I would say. And Antarctopelta is going to come up next. In fact, this creature isn't bad at all. It has decent moveset, but Revenge Instant Ferocity is questionable. It's fine, it can be used. It's resilient, good against any Cunning, but not one of the best resilience as well. Here's Allosaurus Gen 2. The problem is the same as with T-Rex. It has only 4.5k health, so stuff like Sarcoryxis, Diplodocus, Titanoboa, they all kill this, and this was supposed to counter them because this is a fierce, so that's the reason why it's not good. It's mediocre though. Titanoboa is one of the best creatures in the game, with high speed, mediocre speed, high damage and health. Just like that, I'm going to put Titanoboa in S tier probably. It's really good. It's either high A tier or lower S tier, but it's going to be S. And yes, the next one is going to be Strusium, if I can ever find it. Here it is. This is even better than Rinchenia, in my opinion. Even worse, I mean, because its moveset is worse. I think the group distraction is so bad. It's completely useless. It's either low B or high C. I think it's going to be C. And blue is coming up here with very low health but good damage and really high speed, and two quite impressive and good resistances, and also with a good moveset. This creature is used a lot in tournaments, not in hybrid tournaments but in like epic non-hybrid tournaments. It's definitely an A tier creature. Kind of low A, but A. Indominus Rex Gen 2 is coming up next. with good resistances and quite good stats. Also an amazing wide range of abilities. This creature is a good counter for Sarcoryxis. We only have to watch out for swap in, especially Woolly Rhino, because it can just kill the Indominus without any damage taken to them. Still, Indominus Rex Gen 2 is an amazing creature. It does very well in tournaments, and there are some people who even use it in ranked matches. So it's a good creature overall. Stegoceratops, a swap-in creature, is coming up next. With a quite good moveset, it fits for Stegosaurus. But unfortunately it can't be over B tier because it's so outclassed by Woolly Rhino. Sinoceratops is the same thing, it has even almost the same abilities. Sinoceratops is a little bit worse though. I think Stegoceratops had more health. Yeah, that's right, it has 300 more health and slowing impact, which is an impact that Sinoceratops does not have. So Stegoceratops is rather a high B tier, and Sinoceratops is a low B tier. It's close to being C, but the swap in Stunning Strike is quite good, so it remains in B tier, I think. And moving on to the next one, it's Pteranodon. This was one of my first epics I unlocked. I was so happy with it. Back then it wasn't this bad, it was still really bad, but now it's even worse. It's I can't believe how bad Pteranodon is. Its design is good and its animations are good, but the creature itself is terrible. So it's in the joke tier. Oh snap, here is Velocirakus. A great Cunning, finally, here is a good Cunning that is worth using. It can do so much damage, it has 2 rampages, and it's immune to stuns. So if Woolly Rhino is being swapped in, it can even kill it, because it resists the stun. And straight after that one, here is another good Cunning, Dakotaraptor. It's also used a lot in tournaments. Velocirakus is much better, but Dakotaraptor is also usable, especially when Velocirakus isn't available or it's not allowed in the tournament rules. Acrocanthosaurus has a little bit better survivability than T-Rex and Allosaurus Gen 2, but it has also less damage and no resistance. This one is better than Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it's about as good as Allosaurus. Yes, this one can kill Diplodocus and Titanoboa. This doesn't even necessarily kill Diplodocus, by the way. Just sometimes it does. It's RNG based, because it has to crit at least once to kill Diplodocus. So that's why it's right there, where it is. Magistotherium has a completely useless swap in, because it has low health. And low health does not synergize with swapping. It has a fine move set, but like Andrewsarchus, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's better because it's faster. So I think there is no reason to use this creature, but it can be good against like Diplodocus and those stuff, and Brachiosaurus, which are really common in epic tournaments, so that's why you might use Magistotherium. I still won't suggest it anytime. Brachiosaurus is another really good creature with quite good stats and a decent moveset, some amazing resistances, not gonna lie. This is either high A tier or low S tier maybe. I don't quite think it's S tier, but it's a really high A tier. Here is Arlicogama, another good Cunning epic, but again Velocirakus kind of outclasses it because of the only stun resistance. This does not have a stun resistance. So let's say this is being played and they switch to Woolly Rhino. This does not kill it, it does some damage and then this can just strike and run and that's it. But Velociraptor resists the stun and then it deals just so much damage that it kills the Woolly Rhino, which is amazing. But still Arlecogama is going to A tier. Oof. So here is Aquila Mimus, really bad Cunning. For a long time I didn't even know this creature existed, although I had this, because I got from a strike tower or I don't know. This is kind of a forgotten creature for me. Maybe because it's so bad. Darwinopterus is very bad as well. It's kind of speedy, but it has low health and low damage. And of course it does not have distraction moves because it's a fierce. So its survivability is terrible. I almost think it's a joke, but I believe it's better than that. So I'm gonna stick it to C tier. Let's just look at it again. Is it even C tier? It has so low health. It gets one shot by so much creatures because it can't even distract. I'm sorry Darwin, but you are joke tier. Oh snap, here is Dilacotator. A really amazing hybrid. I love this creature, its design is so good, its animations are so good, its moveset is so good, its stats are so good, nothing much to say about this one. This is going straight to the S tier. And Piroraptor is coming up next. Another classical Cunning. Dakotaraptor is better. Velocirakus is better. Erlikogama is better. Fine, it's mediocre, but not really good. Stegosaurus. It has a weird move set. I don't even know what class this is in. What is its class? Let's just check. It's Cunning Fierce? What? It, it's also should be resilient because there is instant charge, which is a pure resilient move. Well, that's not really true because like Alocino and Thor also have instant charge. but I don't know. Its damage is so low and the moveset isn't the best, so it's low. I might regret this decision, man. It's C tier, high C of course, but I don't think it's over that. Kentrosaurus isn't good. It has a bad moveset for an epic. If this was a common, this would have been good, but for an epic, this is so bad. The health isn't great too, but I don't know what to say about this. Yeah, yes, again, as a common, this would have been good, but it's low B amongst epics. Low B. Let's put it low with B, just because the resilient moves are so good. Here is Woolly Rhino, one of the best epics in the game. Even in like nobler shorts, some people use this creature because of its so high damage and good moveset, and this is just a great creature. And skipping to Ovilophosaurus. This one is, I don't know, it's a cunning, but how good of a cunning it is. Its damage is low, which is always bad for cunnings. Cunnings should have a really high damage. And also the speed isn't amazing. It's 175. For a cunning, it is not good. But because it has a great move set, I think it's going to be somewhere in low A tier. So this was my Jurassic World Alive epic creature tier list. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and see you next time. Bye bye.